So, 5 foolish virgins. Seems like a great topic that a male should spend a considerable amount of time explaining to other women. I think I'll put it right under the category of how one explains Balaam and his talking donkey to adult skeptics of Christianity. And furthermore, that goes hand in hand with the wise virgins as well. I mean, if you add the bridegroom into the mix, you might as well be talking about an episode of Sister Wives versus the gospel parable. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to let myself off the hook, but a sermon on virgins, regardless of their allegorical substance, would probably do more to further an uninformed perception of what the church actually has to say about ethical states of being than it would be edifying, especially when given the restraints of time and space that we have to share with each other on Sunday morning. I'm not trying to say that their virginity doesn't matter, but that if I had a choice to talk about being ready or not, versus how sexual states of purity informs my understanding of ancient Mideastern oil distribution, I would choose readiness 1,000% of the time. Okay? Because let's face it, this parable has some really weird things going on in it. Like, why is the bridegroom delayed? Get Me to the Church on Time was sung for a reason, not because it was cute. Why are all these ladies being so stingy? When we've heard for, about 24 chapters now that we should give to everyone who asks from us. And why on earth would I want to hear about a bridegroom who, for, forever, the church is interpreted to be Jesus? Why would I want to hear about a bridegroom saying to those who have not, I do not know you? I mean, hold that with the fact that we pretty much just got done hearing, knock and the door will be open to you. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it will be given to you. Or better yet, which one of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will you give him a snake? If we who are evil know how to give good gifts to each other, how much more would our Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask of him? And here it is. So in everything, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Seems like a pretty good gift right now would be that those ladies would give the other ladies some oil. Or is that just me? Or is it really true that to those who have, more will be given? And to those who have not, even what they have will be taken away. That's in the Bible. Or is it this? Is it that to you, the secrets of heaven have been given? And that just as the sower is given the task of sowing his seeds, so too it is up to us on how we tend that seed that grows within us. Will that seed wither away? Will it be choked? Will it be dried up? Or will it grow and produce fruit? Will it grow even further so that the birds of the air can come nest in its branches? And I'm not just talking about the doves that coo and are harbingers of peace, but the ravens also, who signify death to those who are mortal. That both of those birds could somehow find a home in the tree that has grown from the seed of your faith. For even at the grave, both of those birds are there, though for whatever reason, many of us who listen to the gospel week in and week out only end up hearing the cry of nevermore, more than we do Alleluia. Everyone will die. But will you be ready? This seems to be what I encounter in this parable more than I do virgins or oil cans. And I can tell you one thing I can tell you for sure, is that I can count on one hand how many times I've had a conversation with someone in my office and they said that they are ready. Or that they said, I'm ready to let my loved one go because, I've loved them enough. What I have come to know, too, is that there is a difference, regardless of the fact that none of us really knows the day or the hour, between someone who has prepared themselves for death with an understanding of faith than from someone who has not. And because those people who have taken the time to understand that, because they have not hidden that light under a bushel basket, they have prepared unknowingly, I think, those that will grieve them when they are gone. And when they do that, they break a cycle. They break a cycle. The cycle that keeps us from talking about the inevitable. The fact is that we don't talk too much about it because the thing is taboo. As a matter of fact, I bet some of you are actually thinking, I wish I would have heard the one about virgins today. And perhaps that's why Paul's vision of the dead meeting the Lord in the sky like Superman, perhaps that's why that seems so cause and effect, almost like we are here today and gone tomorrow. When everybody, I think, in this room knows that it's much more deeper and emotional than that. And this is what I see in the here and now, is that everything in our lives, everything, will at one time for us change in an instant of instants. And that will happen whether we have oil handy or not. That will happen if we are wise or foolish. And that will happen if we're prudent or promiscuous. And that's because the sun shines on both the unrighteous and the righteous together. I don't know about you all, but I've seen enough death to know that there's a difference between the God who people blame for sickness, inaction, tragedy, death, and who in their minds would bear the gates of everlasting life for things as arbitrary as not having enough oil, a wedding robe, or one's ability to produce 10 talents out of one. I've seen a difference between that God and the God who says, everyone that the Father who gives to me, I will not lose. Everyone the Father gives to me will come to me, and I will never turn anyone away who believes in me. Those are different. And if you're with me and you can say yes to that, then I'd like to think that what you and I have been brought up to believe, I'd like to think that that belief is able to hold the ideas of covenant love and promise together with the reality that everything that happens in this world is not God's will. And that suffering and death is a part of that. For unless, like Martha, we can answer the question of when Jesus says to us, do you believe this? The way that she did. Whether we have oil or not is not going to matter very much. Because it will feel like a bait and switch. It will feel like God came and took what we weren't ready to give, and we will blame him for his inaction, wholly disregarding the cross as we do so. Because if God was really God, he could save himself, right? He could have saved what I needed saving. And so what if I stood here and I told you that he already had? That he already had saved us. And that what we are to look for in this life is redemption. Would you believe that? That with God there is plenteous redemption, as the psalm says. And that one who believes in him, even though he dies, yet will he live? What would you say to that? How does the song go, Keeley? When we have run with patience the race, we shall know the joy of Jesus. I think that's the kind of joy the first Advent made a reality, and the second Advent promises.